73% of businesses globally are learning to invest in technology right now, globally. That's what's going on now with the wave of AI and technology. And yet, 70% of all digital transformation investments fail in business. And the question is why? The truth is that most leaders are prepared for today's fires, but not tomorrow's wildfires. In 2025 and beyond, complacency is not just risky, it is fatal for your business. Welcome to the 14th episode of the CEO Leadership Strategy series. And in this episode, we'll be talking about how to future-proof your business. And this long-form video, I believe, is going to be very engaging, very inspirational, and you're going to learn a lot. See me as a guide. I'm Dr. Olumowalusoya. I'm a business strategist, board advisor, and I'm a CEO coach. I want to talk about this topic because it's very, very dear to my heart. How to future-proof your business in this age of AI. I want you to cast your mind back to Blockbuster, Kodak, Sears, Nokia, and all these brands that used to dominate their industries until they didn't. And the common trend to all of them is complacency. The most important thing is that future-proofing your business it's not about predicting what's going to happen in the future. It's not about building new things just for the sake of building new things. It's about agility, how to thrive, on uncertainty. And today we're going to be looking at it. I'm looking at that topic. This video is divided into 4 sections. I've already done the introduction. We're going to be looking at the next section. The second section is a deep dive into the topic. The third section is 2 case studies that I'll be treating that is relevant for this case, and I'm going to dive deep into those case studies, share my own understanding of what happened, and we're going to be sharing the learnings from those case studies, from those business case studies. Then the 4th section is question and answer. Then we'll do a wrap-up, and that's the concluding part of the video. So come along, let's dive along together. So welcome to the deep dive area of the video. What is future-proofing your business all about? And I want to, share my own thoughts as a business leader and a CEO, having been in executive management for over 2 decades. One of the first things that you need to understand about future-proofing your business is to understand the 3-pillar framework. And I will talk about it, starting with the first one. The first pillar in future-proofing your business is to anticipate trends. Don't just react to trends, anticipate it and plan ahead for it. In order to anticipate trends, you want to be data-driven in your foresight. Make sure that data is guiding the way you think ahead. In this day of AI, you have to use AI tools, predictive analytics, to scan the market, to know what your competitors are doing, to spot weak signals, look at what you can do differently, what you can do better, what your competitors are doing better than you, and what is needed going to the future, so that you can actually plan ahead. For example, look at what's happening now. Social media platforms are stealing over 50% of TV ad revenue. What it means is that most of the customers are on social media, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. They're on social media. So ad revenue is going to social media now. So if you're a company that does a lot of advertisement, you want to rethink your strategy, how you're reaching your customer. Then the second thing I want to do under the anticipate trends and not just react is that you have to be mindful of the 10% rule. Allocate at least 10% of your budget to emerging technology, e.g. generative AI, and make sure that you are getting results from it from now. You need to invest in AI. You need to invest in technology. Look at all the advancement in AI, what good it's doing to your business, to your sector, to your industry, and make sure that you invest in it right now. The time to do it is now, is not later. The second pillar is strategic technology investment. You have to be strategic in your technology investment. Think about AI. Deploy AI, for highly personalized learning. For example, adaptive skills, training that boosts productivity of your staff. And it's been found that when you do that, it boosts about 40% of productivity of your staff. Because if you invest in AI for them, they'll be able to do things faster, better, quicker, and with better quality. So AI investment is very key for your business. You also want to digitize on the job training. Look at how you can digitize on the job training for your company and centralize it. You want to use Teams, you want to use other platforms. When you're onboarding a new staff, for example, can you digitize that training? Can you digitize that orientation and put it on a central server, on SharePoint? Everybody can access it. They can watch it over and over again. And it's easier for them to do. Also, trainings, on the job trainings, that can be easy with certifications, can be centralized. So that somebody that is in another house station post doesn't need to travel to the headquarters to get the same training. For example, you can do it wherever he is or she is. So if you're bringing people together physically to be there, you want them to network together, you want them to meet one another. It's not because that resource is not available, on SharePoint or something where they can actually have access to it ahead of time. So you want to centralize the stuff. Then the third pillar, you want to cultivate workforce agility. You want to make sure that your workforce is agile. Make sure that you upskill your workforce so that you can have solid return on investment. If your workforce is not properly upskilled, you will not be able to, compete in this age and time. It has been found out that employees need about 4 to 6 months to master new technology, and you want to be able to invest in the AI and all this new technology so that your company can take advantage of what technology is helping the entire industry to do better, so that it can be at par as your competitor or do better than them. And you want your employees to be hands-on. You want them to be hands-on so that they're not just being trained, listen to lectures. They must know how to use the technology and help to improve customer experience, improve efficiency, generate higher quality of work, and make it easy for your company to actually maintain leadership and stand out and differentiate yourself. Zero trust leadership. And this is very, very key. With 93% of companies being afraid of AI today, a study was done that revealed that 93% of companies are afraid of AI-driven cyber threats, because the truth about it is that AI is making cyber threats so easy to do nowadays. So what it means is that you need to empower your managers. You need to empower your managers so that they can train your teams. And for there to be zero trust leadership, that means you have to delegate and you need to empower so that they can do the job. They can actually upgrade their skills and also match the cyber criminals strength for strength. The major challenge we're going to face in this age of AI is cyber threats, because technology is going to make it easy. Even for countries, warfare is going to escalate because with technology, with drones, with robots, any country that has better robots, better drones, better technology will be better at warfare. So it can actually get out of hand, and you need to be prepared. You need to be ahead in terms of technology. It's very key that we're ahead in terms of technology. Another thing we need to look at is, in upskilling, you have to prepare the mind of your staff to let them know that we are not going to survive without technology, without adoption of technology, without that mindset, that preparedness to adopt technology, not only to adopt it, to do better with it. And you must be able to encourage your staff to actually give in their best in terms of technology. And that's the way to look at it. So, sharing 2 case studies I'd like to talk about. The first one is Lego. I'll share the challenges Lego went through in 1988, where they went from near bankruptcy to a 19 billion revival, under the CEO leadership of Jørgen Knudstorp. And what happened at that time? They had patent expiration in 1988, and they had just gone through a failed diversification that led to a 12-year decline of their revenues. And what did Jørgen do differently? What he did differently was to centralize all operations into a single ERP system. There was an enterprise resource planning system where there's a software. He centralized all the operations into this software. And then he launched digital and physical hybrids. For example, app connected toys and all that were connected to applications and all that. And when he did this, because he had adopted technology, he centralized the technology, it was very easy for him to deploy. That was 25% revenue surge. And from there, they went to market dominance, and that's how they were able to turn around from near bankruptcy, from their patent loss to a $9 billion revival. And the lesson to learn is that as a legacy brand, Lego was a legacy brand. They won by digitizing their core strengths, not abandoning their core strengths. So they focused on the ability to make toys and all that. But what they did is they adopted technology. They centralized that ERP system, centralized all the operations in the ERP system, and they were able to actually reach more customers and develop new products, and this, gave a new lease of life to the company, and they were able to turn around their fortunes. The second case study is about Kodak, and this is a negative one. Kodak missed a 30 billion opportunity in their industry, in their business, under the CEO called George Fisher in the 1990s. And what happened to them? They allowed complacency to take over their business. They had invented the digital camera in 1975, but they shelved it to protect film profits. They were still making a lot of money from films, camera films and all that, the old school way of doing things. Whereas they had already invented the digital camera as far back as 1975, but they shelved it. They did not scale that product. They did not bring it to life because they were still making money from an outdated technology, which seems to be very profitable at that point in time. And what caused the downfall? They diversified into chemicals and healthcare instead of doubling down on digital cameras. Number 2, they refused to license patents to competitors, and they had isolated themselves in the industry. And in 2012, they went into bankruptcy, despite the fact that they were the one that pioneered digital camera. Can you imagine that? How can you pioneer an innovation? You pioneered it. You did not launch it to scale. You did not bring it to life because you were making a lot of money from the old technology. And you allowed other competitors to catch up with you, surpass you. That same technology that you invented, they now use it to actually drown your business. So the lesson from this case study is that avoiding disruption to protect today's revenue, will kill your business tomorrow. If you avoid disruption, you avoid innovation, avoid technology today, because you are earning a lot of money, you're getting a lot of revenue from the current technology, it will kill your business tomorrow. So you have to move with time. You have to adopt technology as it comes and execute accordingly in your business. And that's a way to prevent that kind of, result that Kodak got. I would love to share another case study with that of Nokia. How Nokia was buried by the iPhone with a touch screen. The fact that they had a very popular product that had a very lovely QWERTY keypad. People loved it. And a new technology came out with touchscreen. Despite the fact that they had access to that intelligence, they did not latch onto it. They still feel that people were going to ride on the touchscreen. And their response time was very slow. And by the time they decided to do it, Apple had already rode on it. And it was very, very difficult. Very, very difficult. Because they were not prepared with that new technology. And they did not adopt it on time. And they lost market share. And like you said, like it's normally said, the rest is history, as we know today. So don't make that mistake. Learn from these 2 case studies and try and see how to actually anticipate change and execute using technology in your business. That's the way to go. So we'll come to this section where I answer questions, and there are 5 questions I'll be looking at. The first one is, how do I identify skill gaps before they hurt my business? How do I identify skill gaps before it hurts my business? I feel that my own opinion is that you should use AI-driven skill mapping. There are platforms that can help you to map the skill sets that are available in your company, in your business. Track how proficient you are, how proficient your team is in, these skills. You need to realize that it takes about 4 to 6 months for employees and team members to master new tools, new technology tools, AI tools, and all the things that are coming up today. So you must be able to give them that time and invest in training so that they can acquire the skills and they can use it in the business, and you have to realize that you don't encourage your team members to delay in mastering these skills. Maximum of 6 months. And they must be able to be proficient in it within 6 months. Start deploying it and start bringing those proficiencies that the users of those skills or those tools will bring to the business and start applying to the business as soon as possible. So, using technology or other means to assess the skill gaps in your company, assess the skill gaps immediately. And when you assess them, give maximum of 6 months. There must be a plan, a targeted plan with a timeline, with KPIs, with to-dos and all that. And make sure that your team members acquire the skills within record time and start applying to the business and start reaping from the efficiencies and pass on that experience to your customers. Also look at what competitors are doing, look at what they're doing better than you and learn from it. There's nothing wrong in emulating what is good. Emulate what is good and move on. That's the way to do it. And that's how to identify skill gaps before they hurt you. The second question is, if the return on investment on technology investment isn't immediate, what do I do? What if the return on investment in technology is not immediate? What do you do as a business? So the most important thing is for you to have indicators and KPIs that you measure. And once you have those things, you can measure employee productivity. Once employee or your team members acquire new skills in technology, in AI, in all those things that they can apply to the job, you give them 90 days, 3 months, and you start measuring the impact on their productivity, because if you want to do that, you'll be able to know what is working and what's not working, and who is actually learning and who is not learning. for you to adopt those technology, then you can actually make adjustments, and by the time you apply AI to your business, it will actually also improve training time. With a lot of AI tools that help training better, you find out that training time will be reduced, and also your return on investment on technology will be improved at the end of the day. That's the way to go about it. So, how can businesses avoid future proofing? I don't think you can avoid it. You can't avoid future proofing. You cannot avoid future proofing your business. What you need to do is to prioritize high impact areas. You look at areas of your business that you need to prioritize investment in technology, and make sure that you focus on that area first. If that you need to store your data in the cloud to prevent cyber threats, data loss, and all that disaster that can happen to your data, you want to prioritize that first. For example, if you're a service company that you deal with data of a lot of clients, a lot of bio data of a lot of customers are with you, you have to comply with data privacy laws, both locally and internationally. So you want to be able to protect your data, ensure you have the right servers, and back up your data in the cloud. Adopt a cloud-based system that has enough protection, enough firewalls, so that you can protect your data. Data integrity is very important, because you can't afford to have a information leak, data theft, and all that. You want to protect your data and make sure that your business reputation is also protected. The fourth question: how do I spot complacency in my leadership as a leader and as a CEO? For me, the warning signs are when you start to defend legacy systems. For example, saying things like our customers love this, our customers love that. That's what happened to Kodak. Kodak was defending a legacy system, was defending the manual camera, whereas they had invented the digital camera. They failed to apply it. They failed to develop it to scale and to mass produce it, because they were still making money from producing camera films with the whole camera technology. They were making a lot of money. But rather than lead the change and disrupt the business even further, they waited for their competitors to catch up with them on that technology and leave them behind. That's what happened. So stop defending legacy systems. This is the way we have been doing it. This is the way we have been doing it. It has to change. Technology has come, and you can see it. You can even see that your competitors are adopting technology. You have to move ahead and move with the trend and adopt technology that's going to make you more efficient, that's going to make you pass on that efficiency to your customer. The experience will be better, you can do things better with higher quality and more proficiency. Then get done with it, save costs, return on investment is there for your business. Adopt it and move on. Stop defending legacy systems. Another example of a company that was defending legacy system was Blockbuster. They had survived Netflix for years, defending the legacy system, whereas Netflix was looking ahead, and they innovated. They started streaming and all that, and they left Blockbuster behind. They're still focusing on DVD, VHS tapes and all that. DVD tapes, they left them behind, DVDs, and moved ahead, and started streaming, and they left them behind. So as a leader, as a CEO, as a founder, stop defending legacy system. Embrace disruption, embrace technology, embrace innovation, apply it to your business. Remember that don't allow learning to be more than 4 to 6 months. Let there be quick adoption and you move ahead. Don't spend 1 year learning a new tool. It's too long. Minimum of 3 months, maximum of 4 months is enough. Worst case scenario, 6 months. You should have They will have adopted the new technology and start using it. Your team members should have adopted and start using it. And you move up with your competitors and you take charge and make sure that you are competitive. That's one of the ways you can differentiate yourself with technology. That's one of the competitive advantages, technology. And it is about differentiation. Once you adopt technology on time, you learn it on time, you apply it to your business, you have differentiated yourself using technology. So the fifth question is, what emerging tech is non-negotiable in 2025 and beyond? What emerging technology is non-negotiable for a business in 2025 and beyond? The answer is AI. AI-generated interfaces, tools, applications that you can apply to your business is non-negotiable in this year and beyond. No matter what you do, you must look for AI and technology that you can adapt to your business, that will make your business better, quality better, result better, processing time better, that will improve customer experience, improve return on investment, and profit and revenues. Adopt it now, learn it now, and make sure that you learn it and master it. You must achieve mastery levels, So, for example, software training that auto-adjusts to skill gaps. You must be able to adopt all software trainings that will make your business better. Adopt those softwares. Of course, you must be able to afford it. But learn those softwares, start using them, and improve your business. So if there's one thing I would tell you, that is not non-negotiable. Any AI tool that can make your job better, that can make your company deliver better, adopt it and start using it today. And as it evolves, the technologies involves, learn the new ones and also adopt them. That's the way to go about it. So in future-proofing your business, we have to realize that it hinges on three things. Anticipation. You must be able to track trends. You must be able to respond to them, not react. Embrace change, embrace innovation, and use it. Second is invest in AI and Internet of Things. And the third is to adapt. When I say adapt, what I'm saying is that you must upskill relentlessly going forward. You keep iterating with your adoption, with your adaptation. You keep iterating with adaptation. And you make sure you keep learning, and adapting new things. Lego did it. Kodak did not do it. Netflix did it. Blockbuster did not do it. Apple did it. Nokia did not do it. And that's what needs to change. You must keep learning, keep iterating with learning new technology and adopting it in your business. And you find out that your business will be able to compete and you'll be able to stay afloat. And of all companies that are going to go down, because you are adopting technology and you're making your business better and your customers are enjoying it at the end of the day. And there's an urgent call I need to make here. And it's that a lot of companies are going to suffer AI-driven cyber attacks as we go on. I'm an information security expert. I'm certified in information security. And the reality is that AI is making cyber attacks very easy for cyber criminals. And it's going to even become much more easier as we go ahead. So in 2025 and beyond, brace up. If you're a company, brace up for more cyber attacks. It's already happening in Nigeria. A lot of banks are facing cyber attacks. They are being defrauded every month. It's just that most of the time they don't disclose it. They only disclose it to CBN, and CBN may choose to now disclose it to the public. But that's a reality. And this is happening globally. It's not just in Nigeria. In all financial systems globally, companies are being attacked, institutions are being attacked. So your zero trust strategy must be live. You must empower your team members to be able to defend, have a very good cyber threat, cyber security strategy plan and protection. disaster recovery, and all those kind of things, mitigation strategies and all that. There must be a clearly documented cyber security plan, information security plan for your company, and you must implement it because cyber security threats are going to increase. There is nothing we can do about it because with technology, ease of technology, cyber criminals are also going to have access to this technology. There is AI development in every sphere, including cybercrime too. So we have to be prepared for it. So we need, as a company, as a business, upskilling, iterating with upskilling, and make sure you protect your business is very key. So if you have stayed to this point in this video, I would like to appreciate you. Thank you for your time. I would like to hear from you. Please drop your questions in the comment section. You can also give me ideas for videos I like to take in the future. I want you to be able to suggest those videos to me and let me know what your thoughts are. I will encourage you to build your AI fortress now. Look for zero trust frameworks that work. And if you want to find out how to build a zero trust strategy for your company, you can reach out to me. I also provide that form of consulting for boards of companies that want their companies to actually develop a zero trust strategy and be ready and be prepared for cyber attacks that are going to increase as we go on. So thank you for listening. To listen to more of these videos, please subscribe, like, and share this video. And also click on the series, the CEO Leadership Strategy series, to watch more videos. See you in the next video, and thanks for watching.